Hi, this is a quick rundown on screen addiction presented by Noah, Matthew, and Michael. So what is screen addiction? Well, because it's still a fairly new concept, there's not really one definition or a clinical diagnosis. It's currently best understood as a set of symptoms and behaviors that produce negative outcomes in a person's life when they use technology for a long period of time. The Mayo Clinic lists some symptoms, including intense urges for screen time, overspending on video games when you can afford to, cutting back on social activities for screen time, or becoming angry when forced to stop playing. Screen addiction also has been shown to have adverse effects on sleep and stress levels. A study performed at the University of San Francisco in 2016 linked to longer time spent on technology each day with shortened sleep. Some people check their phones too frequently, and these so-called constant checkers were found to experience more stress than those who didn't. So what are some examples of screen addiction? Well, there's doom scrolling. So the term doom scrolling is used to describe an addiction to social media apps. Intense anxiety, doubt, and feelings of distress are caused by doom surfing and doom scrolling, which results in many common symptoms of screen addiction, including trouble falling asleep, having poor quality sleep, losing appetite, losing interest in activities, and having low motivation. Another example is in video games. So many video games available to play today have practices such as dailies and artificial time inflation to keep the player playing. For example, Genshin Impact requires players to do daily activities in order to obtain the game's main currency, Primogems. Primogems are used to obtain characters in-game, so in order to get characters, the user needs to return to the game often or spend money in the in-game shop. Another example of these retention techniques is shown in Clash of Clans. This game uses very long timers for building and upgrading, so the player will play the game for much longer than if building and upgrading was instant. And here's another prime example, TikTok. TikTok provides immediate reinforcement. Adding a desired consequence after the behavior of interest happens is known as positive reinforcement, which TikTok uses in its algorithm. It uses this algorithm to see what videos you watch in their entirety and those you swipe past. They will push you more videos related to the ones you enjoyed and will remove videos that you did not. As such, the average user experience is that users will scroll to the next video and immediately get the positive reinforcement of a video that they like.
Now we have some statistics on screen addiction. So screen addiction is significantly increasing in recent years. A 2022 study on cell phone usage conducted by review.org found that about 47% of Americans described themselves as addicted to their cell phones. And some more statistics for that study are shown on the slide here. This number is even higher among Gen Z and millennials. Among university students, another study found that most university students experience stress caused by working with computers on a daily basis, and that this stress was negatively impacting their academic performance. Yet another study, this one from Robert Morris University, and published in Issues in Information Systems, showed the inverse correlation between internet addiction and academic success. It is clear that many of us, especially university students, overuse technology and should cut back on screen time so that we could see improvements in productivity. So how do we go about mitigating and curing screen addiction? There are an abundance of articles and studies talking about this exact concept. One suggestion is to limit the frequency at which you check your phone. Limit yourself to checking only once every 15 minutes, and then 30 minutes, then an hour, that kind of thing, to progressively get better at keeping yourself away from screens. Another more technological suggestion is to turn off unnecessary push notifications. Apps like Instagram will, by default, send a notification when someone likes your post, or sometimes even when they post a story. Notifications like these are certainly not time sensitive and likely not necessary at all. Turn off these notifications to help limit the number of times your phone directly requests your attention. The majority of methods for dealing with screen addiction focus on limiting either frequency of use, the frequency with which someone checks their phone or uses a screen, or limiting the duration of use. So trying to cut back on sort of scrolling for like hours at a time.
Okay, to end our project off, we decided to redesign how the Instagram app functions. So Instagram has many features that are designed to encourage frequent and long duration use of the app. In our redesign, we took note of some of these features and found ways to include similar functions while reducing the risk of screen addiction for our user base. So our main ways to combat screen addiction on Instagram is to outright remove the Reels tab, because this provides endless short videos that people mostly get addicted to. That's the main cause of the screen addiction in the app. So we decided to remove this because the main use of Instagram is to keep up with your friends and family, not to consume new media, which other apps have the purpose of. So our next change is in the search tab. In the search tab, we decided to reduce the amount of results that are shown, because it also provides an endless feed of new content, most of the time unrelated to what you actually searched for. So we decided to reduce that to the top 50 results of what you're searching for. And if you're not searching anything, it'll still have the content below, but it'll still keep the 50. So it won't just keep scrolling endlessly like the Reels tab does. And for our last design change, we decided to add a bedtime alert. This would work as a function where you set the time where you want to stop using the app, and 10 minutes before the time is met, it will give you an alert that the app will automatically lock after 10 minutes. And once that time hits, the app will lock, not allowing you to use it for the rest of the night. So you can forget about going on the app and getting addicted to the screen, as many would, and just get a good night's rest. These changes, hopefully, will help the users cut back on screen time and stop their addiction in its tracks.